joined as always by 25 years actor extraordinaire, the GC champs of the SSAU champion of the world. This is JP Will. How you doing, buddy?
I feel like I'm in the fucking 12th round of a fight after watching this movie. Oh my god!
Oh, I had to put a little extra sting on it for the Bruce Buffer because that was a bit of my inspiration for it.
Of course, because what movie did we watch today?
Oh, today our feature presentation is the original Creed.
You know, with Creed 3 just releasing in theaters, Michael B. Jordan's directorial debut, we thought we'd take it back to Creed 1, the 7th installment in the, quote, Rocky franchise. What?
Yeah, that's wild.
That's
I never even thought of it that way, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah. I mean, technically, 7th in the Rocky franchise, 1st in the Creed franchise. Wow.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that tracks. Oh man. Yeah, I was telling you offline, like, because I take notes. We both do, and I found myself 20 minutes in, and I hadn't written a thing down. I was so in and just watching it, like that never happens.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, I gotta write something down here.
Especially the fights. I don't think I wrote any notes during the fights other than great fight.
Yeah, they punch a bit. Like it's hard to explain a fight. Like we usually do that with action scenes because I mean I know it's action movie book club and everything, but how do you describe an action scene? Like
it's really hard because I'm sure people who've seen the movie, they get it, they understand, but yeah, I mean.
Exactly. It's just like, you probably saw it. Like, I can't do it justice verbalizing it. Like, you got to see it on screen.
And if you haven't seen this movie, please go watch it. It's on HBO Max right now.
It's on Amazon, I believe.
Oh, nice.
I watched it.
Could not recommend it more.
It's still, I mean, I remember loving it the first time, and I don't think I'd seen it since, and it's still great.
Nice.
I'd have even liked it better this time, honestly.
Yeah. I saw it. Gosh, I saw it in the theater. I might have seen it in the theater twice. And then I've watched it since it's been on, streaming or whatever. And yeah, this might be my 4th or 5th time seeing it, but I still love it just as much.
Nice. But before we get into that, what have you been watching, reading, seeing, doing this week?
Last of Us. Holy shit.
2 behind.
Oh no.
Yeah, I took a break and I was just busy doing stuff. So yeah, I need to catch up. I'll probably do that tonight.
Yeah, please let me know what you think when you watch, especially the most current episode, which was episode 8, I think.
Yeah, we're almost to it. I think there's only 9 total. So
yeah, the finale is this coming Sunday, which is also Oscar Sunday. A lot of people don't get into the award shows. I still like it. I like watching the award shows. I think they're fun.
Tune in for the Oscars,
Yeah. It's my Super Bowl, I like to say.
Yeah, it's true.
It's LA's Super Bowl too, it's funny.
Absolutely.
But let's see. The big thing I did this week, other than Last of Us, I read Are you reading 8 Billion Genies, the comic run?
I've heard of it, and I want to. I've been because as I mentioned here, I'm doing another show with our good friend Charlotte Hollingsworth, the Comic Book Club, and so and we're currently in the throes of Grant Morrison's All-Star Superman.
Oh, such a good run! Oh, so good.
I don't know what happens at the end, but we have the last 3 issues to still read, and I'm excited.
God, maybe I should go back. That should be my next comic book I read because I love Grant Morrison. He's one of my favorite writers.
He's a great writer. I keep it's funny. The one we did before this wasn't as good. And like there was times where we talk about stuff. It's like, well, we don't like you don't have faith that they're gonna tie it all together. Like it matters. And I kept telling her from the beginning, like, yeah, this doesn't maybe make sense now, but you got to trust him because he's a good writer.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like come to fruition, and it's like, oh yeah, you just gotta trust certain writers. It's like you trust them, and they're gonna pay it off. You're in good hands. Just know it's coming.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, 8 Billion Genies. I just read the most recent issue. We hadn't had another issue since October or November. So I was I need to go back and read them all because the last one, it's only 8 issues. So the 8th issue comes out sometime in the next few weeks, and that's the last one.
See, I have that problem too when they release like once a month because I don't remember anything.
Or even
so I just wait till
once every like 6 months.
Till the run's over, Like I won't remember and I won't go back and read it again.
Exactly. Yeah. I think I might just for shits and gigs, just because they're only 30 pages, I might go back and just reread it all again before the last one comes out. But it's awesome. Highly recommend. And I picked up a new podcast. My buddy told me Craig Mazin, who created Chernobyl, one of the showrunners of Last of Us, has a screenwriting podcast, which I think you would really like too.
Yeah. What's that called?
It's called Script Notes, and he hosts it with another famous screenwriter named John August, who wrote Big Fish, wrote a lot of Tim Burton stuff, really accomplished screenwriter. It's basically a free screenwriting masterclass. It's fucking awesome. It's great.
I just noted that down to check it out.
Yeah, and the most recent episode is with Patton Oswalt, our buddy Patton Oswalt, and they break down joke writing. Yeah. But other than that, that's kind of about it. What about you? What have you been watching, reading, seeing, doing this week?
Well, I had I went on our good friend Cam Sully's show, the Jacked Up TV show pod, and it was a long time coming. We finally did this little ditty.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I love that song so much. That's
you had it queued up.
Space Above and Beyond. If no one knows that, so if you did, God bless you. And we need to talk. But yeah, it's 23 episodes, all like an hour. I binged straight through the entire season, 24 hours, right before it, and then realized in the show notes that we were also going to be talking Firefly, and I had like 3 hours before the recording, and I like threw on the first Firefly, and then I was like, you know what, I should probably sleep a little bit. So I slept 2 hours and then went on. But yeah, it was man, that show's still, it's so good. But like, there's so many different guest stars too. Like Richard Kind shows up, and he's like a psychic division of the army, and like, but he plays it super straight. Fred Stewart shows up. Adam Goldberg shows up. Well, Coolio shows up.
R.I.P.
Coolio showed up, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, was that Coolio? Like, I think that was
Coolio was everywhere in the mid-90s. Everywhere.
Yeah, I started watching. It came with a documentary on the DVD because you can't watch it anywhere, so I had to buy the DVDs. And the documentary was like, they were just basically lamenting about things like that. They're like, yeah, we were doing well, so the network's just like, put Coolio in. Like, God damn it. Put Coolio
Makes sense. Oh, yeah. Coolio.
Yeah, it worked though. I liked it. Man, that show's tough for the first half of this season, but it really gets and figures itself out, and then the ending still guts me. Like, I had etched into my mind like the last scene, and it was exactly how I remembered it. I hadn't watched it for 28 years since it aired. It aired in 1995 and 96.
Whoa.
So I finally did the math. I was like, wow, that was 28 years ago. And I hadn't watched it since. Yeah. Man, it was way ahead of its time. Like shows like Battlestar Galactica wouldn't exist without that. And like, it's something else. But yeah, it ends on this huge cliffhanger, and yeah, I'm still hurt by it. Like,
of course. There's a couple of those one season shows that end on cliffhangers, and then it's just okay. All right.
Yeah, it sucks. Like, half the crew or the main people are like maybe dead, but you don't really know, and like it just ends with this like last shot of the only two remaining, like in their bunks, like it just like them laying on their backs, and it like pans up, and then it's just like both of them just like shell shocked. It's like, what the fuck just happened? It's just over. It's like, oh my God.
When's the revival of that coming back?
Yeah, I don't think it ever is. I've already decided if I ever win like the $100 million lottery, that's where all my money's going. I'm going to pay every single person to come back. I don't care if it ever airs. We're just going to film it for me. I'll spend the entire fortune on it. I don't care.
Yeah, or just pay that money to get it reinterested back in Hollywood, because they're always looking for new properties, new IPs.
Well, it's so weird. It's just like no one ever wants to make money off it. Like they didn't even have DVDs for the longest time, but like a fan campaign finally got him to put it on DVD. And, like, there's just like nothing out there. It's crazy. And that song was Shirley. Oh, what's her name? She does like she did like the Batman the animated series song. Like
Alan Silvestri.
No, it's I think her name is like Shirley Walker or something like that. She's like quietly one of the best like composers like out there, but she's passed since. But let me find her name because
yeah. While you look that up, there's so much stuff like that out there where I feel like the Monster Squad. That was this huge cult classic movie that bombed when it came out. It's like Goonies meets Universal Monsters, but nobody could get it forever because there was all this. They were in litigation because they used the Universal Monsters and they couldn't physically release it. But then it just after a while, people got interested in it, and now you could find it anywhere. They're screening it all over the country. I've seen it in person on film twice in Los Angeles. It's such a fun, good movie.
Yeah, it's Shirley Walker. I mean, it was made by Glenn Morgan and James Wong, the guys who did X-Files and those. But Shirley Walker, here, let me just run through some of the stuff she did. Like, she worked like as a apprenticeship with like Danny Elfman, Hans Zimmer, like all these notable people.
Whoa.
Yeah, and she was like the one that did the Batman the Animated Series song. Like that everyone knows. I know it's a takeoff the Danny Elfman, but like it's still its own thing. Like she has tons of credits all over. She did True Lies. Like
whoa.
Escape from LA, Final Destination, what else? I mean, all over the place. Like she's like quietly like one of the most prolific that no one really knows. And rest in peace. But yeah, love that song.
Yeah, nice, awesome.
All right, that's about it. I saw Ant-Man. That was good. I don't know if I talked about that. I enjoyed it. But you want to get into this?
Let's do it.
All right, let's get into our feature presentation.
And now, our feature presentation.
Creed from 2015 to 95% from the critics on Rotten Tomatoes and 89% from the audience, directed by Ryan Coogler, starring Michael B. Jordan as Adonis Johnson, Sylvester Stallone as Rocky Balboa, Tessa Thompson as Bianca, Felicia Rashad as Marianne Creed, and Andre Ward as Danny Wheeler.
This movie is so great on its own. If Rocky never existed, this is still a great movie. But
yeah,
it's such a great homage to Rocky, the Rocky franchise, to Sylvester Stallone. The music in it is like Rocky music, but its own thing as well. Little music cues, composing cues. And I know we say it a lot on this show, but man, people forget how good of an actor Stallone is.
He's so good in this. I remember the first time I saw it, like, I didn't think he did a bad job, but there was all this Oscar talk and things like that. Sure, so, you kind of get, like, it's like when someone says something's the best thing ever, and never lives up. So I was thinking the first time I saw it, oh, yeah, he's good, but like Oscars, come on. And I didn't have that in my head this time. And this time I was thinking, yeah, okay, now I get it. Like,
he crushed it. He has such depth and vulnerability, and
his vulnerability is what stood out. Like, I mean, he's because like you believe he's just like a broken man.
He is. He's a broken man who's got nobody.
Yeah, and I think the first time I saw it, I hadn't seen Stallone in a while, and I was just thinking that's just how he is now. But no, he's not. He's still doing Rambo movies. Like he's not like that. That was acting.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. 100%.
Yeah, this movie is fantastic. The restraint with like when they put the Rocky like tidbits in, like the callback, the song, and all that. I thought that was really, really well done.
Yeah, and just the mentor mentee relationship, father son relationship that we kind of see through a lot of the Rocky movies, especially in Rocky 1 where it's him and Mickey. This movie it's him and Rocky. Just the themes, the writing, the storytelling.
I wish the only thing it was missing, I wish we would have gotten the robot. Happy birthday, Polly.
Happy birthday, Polly. Oh man, did I tell you maybe like a month ago, my nephew Kieran, who's 19, he sent me a screen grab from the training montage of Rocky 4, and he said, "I'm burning through all the Rocky movies. I've binged them all in the last couple of days." And I was like, "Oh, amazing. Is that from Rocky 4?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I said, and he goes, "Should I watch 5?" I went, "No. Nope. Hard pass." Yeah, Tommy the Machine Gun. Hard pass, hard skip. But I asked him, of the 4 you've watched so far, which one's your favorite one? He said 4.
4 was always my favorite too growing up.
Yeah.
I loved it.
4 is great, but man, I think all of them are my favorites for different reasons.
Like, it's not the best movie, but as a kid, it was the most fun. Because it was like, yeah, fight the Russians.
Yeah, and that was the first one I saw too.
I think it was the first one I saw too.
I saw it at a sleepover at Greg Tucker's house.
Oh wow.
Yeah, very random.
Really callback.
Mm.
All right, let's get into this.
Let's do it.
We kick off with a little young Adonis getting in fights. I liked how they tied him in. Like, it's kind of messed up. Like, Marianne comes to see him, and it's like, you want to come live with me? She's not his mom. She was married to Creed, but Creed had an affair, and that's the son that came from it.
Yeah, because later in the movie, they say that his mom died when he was a little kid, and that's why he got put in homes.
Yeah, that's why he's in like a foster care system or whatever he was in.
Yeah, I wonder what took her so long.
I don't know, probably coming to terms with it.
Yeah,
like,
true.
Or maybe she didn't even know. They're really clear on like her time frame of when she found out.
Yeah, true.
For all we know, she had just found out, or I could also see she may have known, and it's like, eesh. Like that takes a pretty big person to raise the child. Fair,
Oh man. Oof.
But even though she didn't have a lot to do, that just shows a lot about her character in that moment. So he agrees, of course. Present day, we get a little fight in Mexico.
That
I love how
he's walkout.
Yeah, he's pulling the wraps off even before the 10 count.
He's just a badass. He knows.
Yeah, he just knows he's down. He works at some financial place, whatever, and he just immediately quits his job.
They're like, we just gave you a promotion and you're already quitting. He's like, thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah,
I love how too it's like this chaos of this fight in Mexico, and then the hard cut to office life, the mundane life of office work.
Yeah, I was waiting for him to like start bleeding on his TPS reports, like it was Fight Club or something. So yeah, he quits his job and he wants to start fighting full time, right? He immediately like fights Wheeler and gets his ass beat.
Who happens to be a famous real life boxer, Andre Ward, who I believe is from Philadelphia as well, and he was a gold medal boxing champion, real life champion.
Yeah, their use of actual fighters was great because you could tell they could fight.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, it's still over the top with how many punches they take, but it's much more in the realm of reality than the other Rockies, where it's just haymaker.
Yeah.
I mean, they still traded punches a lot later on, but it was closer to reality.
Yeah, and I wonder why Avon Barksdale, who Wood Harris, his dad, who was Apollo's trainer and then Rocky's trainer, why he comes in hot at Adonis and it's just like, nobody here is training you. Why the hostility?
I took it as he had made like a promise or something to somebody, maybe his mother, maybe his father. I don't know, before he died. Something that he wasn't gonna let him. Probably Marianne.
Yeah, maybe.
She didn't want that life for him. You know, saw my husband die in the ring. I don't want to watch my son go down that same path, kind of thing.
Yeah. Definitely.
And I assumed that was why, because you're right. They didn't explain it or go in depth in it at all. But I figured that was the reasoning behind it, because he didn't seem like a bad dude. Seemed like he just had a promise to keep.
Yeah, for sure.
So he then goes to see Rocky. He's like, "How about you train me?" Once he tells him who he is, you know.
I love that little scene that they have.
So
God, their scenes together are so good. He's in the restaurant, Adrian's, and Stallone is really great. Who won the third fight? How do you know all this?
Yeah, that was great. The third fight thing, you know, the famous freeze frame. And then we find out who. He's like, he did.
He did. Yeah.
Yeah. He's not really having it, you know. But he keeps asking, wearing him down. And he starts to, like, he gives him notes. He's like, okay, how about you just give me like a little bit? You're not gonna train me. Like, how do I get faster? How do I do this and that? He's such a good old man, like out of the times, because he writes it all down, and then Creed takes a picture. He's just like, well, don't you need this? It's like, what if you lose? He's like, it's in the cloud. He's like, a cloud?
And he like literally looks up and he's like, what cloud?
Where? Hell?
Oh, and at this point too, he's met his neighbor Bianca, the not magician, musician.
Yeah. She's pulling rabbits out of hats, picking cards.
She's doing close-up magic, you know.
They're not tricks, Michael. They're illusions.
Oh, Michael.
Tricks are what whores do for money.
That might be one of my favorite lines from all of Arrested Development.
It's so good. Final countdown. So okay.
Tangent.
Yeah. Yikes. So yeah, he goes to get a cheesesteak with Bianca. I love their chemistry is really great too. It's like, it's not a date. It's not a date.
And goddamn, that cheesesteak looked delicious.
It looked so good. I know, it made me want one. So after this, Rocky finally agrees to like train him for real. They begin. He like moves into his place and everything. Finds Paulie's copy of Swank.
He's like, oh, Paulie.
Yeah, all right.
One thing right before when they're talking over their cheesesteaks, you find out that Bianca has progressive hearing loss. And I just think that's such an interesting addition that they made to her character, that she is a musician and a very, very talented musician that is losing her hearing. And I just think that's so unique and so interesting and so heartbreaking too.
Well, yeah, I wrote this down for a scene later on, but since you brought it up now,
Gotcha.
I liked that they are both kind of the same, because she will eventually lose her hearing and not be able to do the thing that she loves. And it was mentioned before that his father was like the best, but time caught up with him. So like they're both, time will take away what they love. Like that doesn't matter. They can't stop it. Like they have to do it now, or because eventually time will win and take away both of the things that they're passionate about, and there's nothing they can do about it. So they're
wow.
I assume that's why they gave her that issue, because it's like that's a connective tissue, you know.
Yeah.
They're both staring down the barrel of the gun of this time issue, and they're gonna lose it, but they're making hay while they can.
Really great point.
Thanks. So, so yeah, Rocky agrees to train him. They start training. Takes him to this like old ass gym. Bit of a montage, you know.
I love the training montage.
Chasing chickens, doing jump rope, all the good stuff. Gets to his first fight, because one of the other guys like kind of seems like a little bit scummy.
a little bit scummy. He's running Mickey's gym, and his son is this up and coming, contender, 17-0. Been asking Rocky to train him for years, and then all of a sudden he comes in and starts training Michael B, and he's just like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
Yeah, which kind of fair, but he does seem like a bit of a showman,
Totally.
And but he gets that fight going, and finds out that he's Creed's son right before.
Oof. Yeah.
Rocky's like, don't say anything. He's just like, oh, okay, I won't. I like when he walks away. Still it's like he knows because he's like, appreciate it. Like, sarcastic.
Yeah, he's like, fuck.
I was gonna say something. But he wins that first fight. I love afterwards. He's like, "We're gonna tear this town apart," and then it just smash cut to them all passed out on the couch with a bunch of briars in front of them.
I love too how they filmed that whole fight scene in one take. It was a one shot.
Yeah, there's some great moments like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all passed out on the couch, but they wake up and he's still got energy to back. So.
Yeah. And he's like, "Hey, come on," not even come on. He's kissing her, and she's like, "Whoa, wait, your uncle." And he was like, "He's old. He's asleep. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry."
Yeah.
I don't mean this as a negative, but his way he manipulates Rocky, the way he starts calling him Unc and this familiarity he's forcing onto him, that it's he uses his charisma to get himself in, and be part of his life before he even knows what happened. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I didn't think about it that way. He just comes in and he's just kind of assuming a lot of shit.
Yeah, it's not taking no for an answer. It's just he says no, and he's just like, okay, so I'll see you tomorrow, kind of thing. It's just he just keeps going, pushing and pushing, not over the top, crossing lines, but because he does it all with a smile and he's so charming that he can't get away with it. But before Rocky knows it, he's living in his house. He's it's kind of how the hell did I get here? I said no.
Well, I think it was, or no, it was his idea to come live with him, and Rocky was kind of okay.
All it was. He just kind of inserted himself into his life, and before he knew it, he was part of it, and it's just all right. Not that he was unhappy about it, but just the way he went about it was interesting.
Yeah, I think maybe it's because, clearly he has nothing to lose. He really wants this. And Rocky was the only connection. I mean, other than his mother, is the only other connection he has to his father. Because I can't imagine that, he's got a good relationship with his, half siblings.
I mean, he basically uses not necessarily as a guilt, but it's you owe my dad, he's using every quiver.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he wasn't it's very briefly touched on, but he had that office job and he was in finance, so he has business acumen, and smarts, and probably mergers and acquisitions and stuff, and how to get deals done. I feel that was an interesting. You could see that.
Oh yeah, because when he quit, he had literally just gotten a promotion.
Yeah, so he's clearly intelligent, and smart, and everything outside of being ripped and talented in the boxing and the athletic arena. But yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So all right, they the next day, I think the other promoter guy was salty that his kid lost, because on TMZ it comes out that he's Creed's son, so then everyone
yeah, and PTI is discussing, and I love how too that Apollo Creed's not just some amazing fighter. He's Ali. He's the best of all time.
Exactly, pound for pound, arguably the best of all time. And of course he hadn't told Bianca, so she's not really happy with that whole thing. But kind of explains it he wanted to make it on his own merit and this and that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love how she's a super strong character in this too, because of course we talk a lot about in our movies how early action movies, women are kind of just cannon fodder, unfortunately.
Yeah, no dressing, they're just kind of there.
Exactly. Whereas she's a fucking badass woman and kind of pushes him to be his best person while also kicking ass herself.
Yeah, she's a fully realized character.
Exactly.
So since this comes out, the current champ, he was supposed to fight some other dude, broke his jaw during the weigh-in or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's looking for a fight. He's basically one of those guys. He's at the end of his career. He's Conor McGregor maybe like a year or so ago.
And he's getting ready to go to prison too for 7 years.
Yeah, like he's looking for that last payday. He's kind of at the end of his not much gas left in the tank. So they want his promoter guy is basically put Creed's name on it with Rocky in his corner, and we'll make trillions of dollars.
This is your last payday. And he's like, I don't want to be seen as a joke. And he goes, no, you want to see your kids with a roof over your head while you're in prison for a fucking bullshit thing that you did.
Yeah. So he acquiesces. It's like, fine, whatever. 'Cause he thinks it's going to be a pushover too. I mean,
I love that actor.
During the meeting, he's like, you wouldn't be here, Rocky's like, if you wouldn't be here if you thought he had a chance, like you're here because you think this is a cakewalk. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
He's like, no, he's like, come on. Like, okay.
Yeah. I love Pretty Ricky's promoter too. That actor Graham McTavish. He was in House of Dragons. He was in Preacher.
He's great.
Yeah,
who was he in the House of Dragon?
He was the
Is he Otto?
God, what's his name? I forget. The main kind of knight, the main big knight, number one knight. Let me look it up. I'll look it up.
Yeah, so they let's see. They kind of, I guess they kind of agree to fight.
Sir Harold. Harold Westerling.
I don't remember.
he's basically the main guy who protects the young. God, I'm fucking blanking on everything today. He basically protects the young queen.
Okay.
Rhaenyra. He protects Rhaenyra.
Okay.
Okay.
So they decide to take the fight, and while they're training, Rocky gets sick. He passes out in the ring, kind of.
Oh, I love this little moment too, because he's trying to be a tough guy. He's like, let me walk. And he's like, dude, you can't walk. He's like, what's wrong? And he goes, I don't know. And he sense that scared moment.
Yeah, because his body's betraying him. He's always been, peak of physical form, but now it's, he's getting eaten away at the inside, from the inside, because we find out it's cancer. But he doesn't want to do the treatment because his wife died of cancer, and he's like, I saw how that went. That's not something I want to do. Man, he's so good at this. He's just like, thanks, but I'm good.
Do you think he's scared in that moment because he doesn't want to go through what she went through, or he's just kind of like, fuck that, I'm good. He's fine with dying. I
think a little of both. I think he doesn't think he has anything left to live for. I mean, you see him at one point go to Polly and Adrian's grave, and he's just reading the paper. He doesn't really have anybody. His son's not around. I think he's fine having it be over.
Yeah.
That was kind of his plan, was just to quietly live out his days. And then Donnie or Adonis, whatever we want to call him, kind of shows up and changes all his plans. It's kind of like a wrench in the mix, and and then also with the fact that he watched his wife go through this, and it didn't, he probably saw the pain and everything that goes along with getting chemo, and and then it didn't work. So it's he sees that it didn't work for her. Why would it work for me? I don't want to go through that. I'm just done. He doesn't have any fight left in him.
Right.
So he doesn't say anything, but they go back to training and everything, and Creed, he finds the pamphlets about the cancer treatment in his coat, confronts him, and it goes poorly.
It goes so poorly, and I think Rocky does something we kind of see in movies where the only way he knows how is to kind of be a little bit abrasive in a way, where he goes, we're not a real family, we never were, and you could tell that hits Donnie really hard.
Push him away, because I think he's just afraid of loss.
he's afraid of loss. And even when Donnie, like, after they have this awful conversation, Donnie walks away, like storms away, and even Rocky's just like, why did you say that?
Yeah.
Why?
He knows he was wrong. It's just that's his instinct.
Yeah.
Like almost trying to probably like in a way trying to even protect him from everything, but he does it really poorly.
Yeah, good God.
So Adonis goes to see Bianca at her performance and gets in a fight with one of these other performers like real quick.
Yeah, and this was Bianca's big breakout performance, you know, going to be huge for her, and the headliner of the show is like trying to get a picture with him, and it's also, you know, cool. He's cool, but then he calls him Baby Creed.
Yeah, he's kind of being a prick, like when he's introduced at first, he's just like, hey Bianca, like kind of ignores him, like kind of flirting with her, and then it's like, hey Baby Creed, give me a pic. Like, yeah, he's being kind of condescending.
Yeah, for sure.
He didn't need to do what he did because that was his partner's big break, like as you said, like real dick move on his part. I know he's going through a lot, but still not cool.
Yeah.
So he ends up in jail. Rocky goes to see him, gets in another argument. He basically throws the barbs back at him that he knows will hurt him the way that Rocky did to him. You know, you
got my real family killed.
Yeah, just like the family thing. He knew Rocky knew that would cut him deep. He knew that would cut Rocky deep. So.
Yeah, and Michael B's really bringing out his. I mean, we know he's a great actor, but he's really showing his chops too in this scene, and he shows his vulnerability for the first time. Really, like he's crying. He's saying, "Leave me alone. Get out of here. I don't need you."
Yeah. He gets out of jail. Goes see Bianca. They kind of have an argument. She's real mad, as she should be. You know, he even tells her why he was upset. I love the way that she plays this because she's still mad. She's almost like when he tells her that Rocky has cancer, she has this look almost as if, God, that's not fair. Like, I want to be mad at you. Like, that's not fair to tell me.
Yeah. Because that's when she opens the door, right?
Yeah. And she's just like, she's just like, it's like biting her tongue. Like,
you motherfucker.
Yeah, like I'm still mad at you, but like that's fuck. Like that's
fine.
None of this is okay. But then she still kind of shuts him out. And it's great when she takes her hearing aids out when he's like, that's really good. And I love the last shot of it's just of the lock in her apartment, and you think she's gonna, flick it open and let him back in, but then it just cuts away. That was great. So he eventually then goes back to Rocky, and he's like, hey, I'm not going to fight unless you fight, unless you get the treatment or this fight's on. Yeah. So he get that. That's what gets through to Rocky. He's like, all right, let's do it. Then we get more training and sickness montage. They're getting ready. And I love the shot of him running down the street, and you get a little like of the Rocky theme, and like he's running with the 12 o'clock boys on their bikes.
Oh, I teared up a little bit during this moment.
Dig him and all that,
Yeah. Oh, so good. So good.
Really good. So fight's approaching. They have like a pre-fight press conference, and they get into it a little bit because the big guy's kind of a prick. Colin's a prick.
Yeah, I love too how Michael B plays it in this scene. How he's got a shirt on, he's got a tie on, he looks kind of out of place, and he's just kind of very shy, kind of meek,
like before, like trying to be like professional and like say the right things, and then the other guy just comes at him with like street smack talk, basically.
And just keeps, they keep asking Adonis questions, and he gets like 3 words out before Conlon just throws it right back in his face, calls him a false creed.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
So Bianca then also comes to see him, and they like make up or whatever. And
I love how Rocky basically tells them not to bang. Did you catch that? And he goes, remember what I told you? And she goes, yeah, the leg thing. And he's like, yeah, it's important, because that's kind of a throwback to the first movie where he goes, women weaken legs.
Yeah, I think he says that even in this movie, women weaken legs, earlier on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So then they go to the venue the next morning, and his mom has sent over Creed's trunks. But it also has Johnson. It has Creed on the front, Johnson on the back. Because that's what he's so good. Yeah, it's the red, white, and blue. His famous trunks. He puts them on. Great scene. Gets heads out of the tunnel while Tupac Hail Mary plays.
Oh, so great.
Yeah, it's so good. And the champ arrives with like a fire spitter and like smoke and everything. And fight begins. Starts going pretty poorly at the beginning. He's getting his butt kicked pretty badly.
He's getting worked. He gets cut in the first round.
Yeah, real bad. Second round goes a little better. Then we get some like little more montage of like they trade punches. This is the rounds, tick by 5, 6, 7. And we get to the final round, and that's when the Rocky theme hits for real.
Oh God. And I love too when right before that last round, when his eyes all completely closed, he literally can't see anything out of it, and his cut man taps the back of his neck.
Yeah, he's like, how many fingers? He's like,
yeah. Oh, I love that. That guy's a real cut man in real life too.
Yeah, I believe that. They all like look the part. So the music pumps, and he's losing the fight, obviously, like by count. But at the very end, he knocks him down, like right with the last second. But he gets up. He doesn't knock him out. So he loses, but he does the thing like from the first Rocky. He proves he belongs.
Yeah, he proves he belongs, and like he said before, he proves that he's not a mistake.
Yeah. He goes the distance. Like even the announcers say, that fight goes 10 more seconds, and we might have a new champ.
Yeah, and even Conlon comes over, and he was like, you're the future of this division. Wear that name with pride.
Yeah,
you're awesome.
From him. Yeah. Yeah, he proves he belongs, and he goes the distance and everything. Then we afterwards we get him and Rocky on the steps. They chat a little, and credits.
God damn, this movie is so good. I'm glad we got to watch it again.
Yeah, it was really great. So this was a lot of fun to go through.
Just so much fun, and just so well done. And I love a good sports movie. It's inspiring, and say what you will about sports movies and Rocky movies, but they're great. They're so much fun.
Yeah, I mean the Rocky movies, for the most part, are all really well done too.
Yeah.
Except for 5, but
except for 5. Oofda. Wow. Jeez.
Not ideal, but out of what is it, like 9 now? But the other 7 out of 8, and I assume the new one's probably at least decent. But 7 out of 8's not bad. That's pretty good.
That's a pretty good track record in my opinion.
Yeah, that not many can do that. So success, I'd say.
Totally. I've got some trivia if you want to hear it.
Ooh, hit us with some trivia.
While training, Adonis wears a shirt with the message, "Why do I want to fight? Because I can't sing or dance." This was a line from Rocky to Adrian on their ice skating date in the first movie.
Nice.
Oh, so good. Just as the film was entering pre-production, Sylvester Stallone's oldest son, Sage Stallone, died of a heart attack. Stallone has admitted that the loss almost sent him into a full breakdown, but Ryan Coogler was eventually able to convince him to use the film as a dedication to Sage, focusing specifically on the father-son relationships that appear in it. Although initially resistant, Stallone said at the Golden Globes that Creed helped him cope with Sage's death.
Yeah, I guess he was probably using that, wasn't he?
Oh, I can imagine. And that picture, when he shows him in the movie, he's like, "Oh, is this you and your boy?" That's actually him and his son. His Sage.
Wow.
That was him and Sage, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Sylvester Stallone requested that Michael B. Jordan wear the famous American flag trunks that Apollo Creed wore in Rocky, and Rocky wore in Rocky 3 and Rocky 4 to keep the tradition in the Rocky universe.
I like that.
Oh. Carl Weathers, who played Apollo Creed, gave his strong endorsement to the movie and Michael B. Jordan's performance. Jordan felt extremely honored.
Nice.
Sylvester
Weathers.
He's so great. I fucking love Carl.
No.
Oh yes.
Old Grief Karga.
Mm.
That's
Sylvester
I watched was the Mandalorian.
Oh, I need to finish that. I need to finish that first episode.
He's in a lot of the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
Weathers has said.
Yeah. Sylvester Stallone was 69 years old when the film was released, the same age as Burgess Meredith when Rocky was released.
Nice.
Man, they aged very differently.
Slightly, yeah.
Yeah, slightly. Let's see here. Sylvester Stallone revealed on a talk show that in all of his Rocky films, there had been at least one instance of him being knocked down for real, which in a sense had become something of a tradition for the franchise. Upon learning about this, Michael B. Jordan agreed to deliberately shoot such a case for this film, citing, "If you can take it, so can I. That's keeping the tradition alive."
I like that.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
He's so yoked in this.
He's fucking jacked. It's funny because listen to this trivia. It's so funny that you said
the perfect name for him because he is a fucking Adonis in this.
Yeah, totally. Michael B. Jordan gained 24 pounds of muscle by working out 2 to 3 days a day, 6 days a week, adhered to a strict diet for almost a year, and since he didn't have a body double, he had to learn how to box in preparation for his role.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times you'll see an actor in a sports movie, and it's just like, eels.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
Like, I want to watch Kevin Costner try to throw a baseball again. Sorry, Waterworld.
Yeah, come on now. Sylvester Stallone is the third actor in Oscar history to receive both lead and supporting Academy Award nominations for playing the same character.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Ooh, where'd you go? Actor Sylvester Stallone wrote or rewrote all of the dialogue for the character of Rocky, also in Creed 2015 and Creed 2 2018. He said that the original screenplays were great, but didn't quite capture the Rocky tempo. That's fair.
Yeah.
And last but not least, in Paulie's room, when Rocky talks about his son moving to Vancouver, there's a photo of Sylvester Stallone as a younger Rocky and a very young Sage Stallone, Sylvester's oldest son. Ryan Coogler urged a reluctant Stallone to give him the picture since he thought it wouldn't be right not to have a representation of Sage in the movie. Stallone admitted that he personally views the film as a dedication to his Sage, who played Rocky's son in Rocky 5.
Nice.
Yeah, great. Oh, love it. Yeah, this movie was so much fun. I'm so glad we got to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we discuss what we're doing next week? I don't think we did.
I was just looking up what's coming out. That Adam Driver movie, 65. Is there a good Adam Driver action movie?
Oh my
Marriage
gosh. Marriage Story, great action movie.
Yeah. Shazam comes out the 17th, the original. John Wick comes out the 24th. We could do. I know we've done one of them. We could do 2 and 3 before the lead up.
Yes, let's do that. Let's do that.
All right, coming up next week, John Wick 2.
Oh yes.
Look into our creative process there.
We're doing it live, baby.
Yeah,
we're doing it live.
Target.
John Wick 2 is currently streaming on Peacock as well as number 3.
Boom, perfect.
Boom.
Oh yeah. How about you hit us where you can find us?
You can find us at www.actionmoviebookclub.com. You can also find us on Twitter at actionmoviebc or on Instagram at actionmoviebookclub. We're also on YouTube and TikTok as well. And also, don't forget to listen to Comic Book Club, starring our man Hans himself and frequent collaborator of the show, Charlotte Hollingsworth. It's such a fun show, and just diving into comic books, which is something that is seemingly endless, but they go in and they get the good stuff. I need to catch up on my comics, but I loved Chip Zdarsky's Spider-Man. It was so good.
Yeah, that was like the perfect place to start.
I loved it. It was great.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
check that out. A lot of fun.
But that's about it. Anything else?
I think that's about all I got. Would you take us out?
Happy trails, Hans.
Happy birthday, Polly. So dumb.